So please realize that you don't have to have perfect form, but it's the intention of how you do it and just that you are moving fluidly. That is way more important than having to be very perfect in your form. So let's begin with standing nice and tall. We want to have the feet facing forward. Try not to have them turned out too much or feet turned in. And with balance, it's very important that we think about the big toe, the little toe, and the heel. So we're going to start from the bottom and work our way up, because in Tai Chi, the awareness of how your body moves in space, called proprioception, also weight shifting and moving at 70%, not like full force and out, but letting all the joints relax as you move through. So let's begin again with the feet, and let's gently kind of rock back and forth a little bit. And if you have any balance issues, make sure you have something nearby that you can hold on to, like a chair or a wall or something like that. But as you rock back and forth, you feel your weight shifting. Feel what happens in the body as you do that. What happens in the feet? Feel what happens in the heel. As you move the body weight back, you'll feel that body weight shift into the heel. And as you come forward, you feel it, especially in the big toe and the little toe. And if you do have neuropathy, which is in our diabetes, the one for diabetes, okay, that will also, that having neuropathy is something that you can work on when you bring your mind into the practice. So just keeping that in mind. So now let's settle back. So you want to feel that your body weight is distributed kind of on the midpoint of the feet and letting your knees relax. So we want those knees to be in a relaxed position. So we're going to just kind of bend and press a little bit, bend and press. So you want to become engaging those leg muscles. And this helps to strengthen all the structures around the knee, including the tendons and the ligaments, and the knee, all the structures around the knee joint itself. So you want to really feel those muscles. We want those knees to be in good shape to be able to hold us. So then allow yourself to just keep those knees in a slightly bent position. And then we're going to move up a little bit higher. The hip joint area is called quad. So we're going to just kind of flex a little forward and come back. So we're going to flex a little bit forward at the hip line and come back. So what you're doing is you want to feel and imagine that you're creating a crease in that hip area. And as you do that, you'll feel your muscles in the hips, especially the glutes, those muscles that we sit on. You want to definitely become aware of them. Good. And then come back up. So still feeling the feet, the knees moving up into the hip. Now we're going to work on the lower dantian, which is called Jing. So we want to lift that navel up. And as we lift the navel up, we want to feel like that tailbone kind of slides under the body. So we want to feel a slight little movement in the pelvis now, because part of the Tai Chi is having that length in the spine the whole distance. So let's begin pulling up with the abdomen, pulling up that navel, that belly button, and letting the tailbone slide underneath. And let's just do that a few more times, and you'll feel those muscles under the body, pelvic floor muscles as well. Let's do one more, and then you want to kind of stay in that. Now that we've been kind of warming up those areas, you want to kind of feel in this relaxed kind of a pose. So let's bring our attention up a little bit higher. This, the middle dantian is actually called Qi, that's your sternum. So we want to kind of move that sternum back and forth. So let's just let the arms relax and just take the chest, lift it up, pull the shoulder blades back, and then come forward, but try not to squeeze forward. Pulling back is better posture and just allowing yourself to just come a little forward. So let's pull that back and make sure you're breathing nice and deeply. Good. and then kind of settle into that midway point. So you feel like the chest is lifted, feel like the shoulder blades are slid down the back, feel the feet, the knees, the hips, the abdomen. So let's move up a little bit higher. You want to put the tongue to the roof of the mouth because that allows the energy to flow through the body nice and gently. So keeping the tongue to the roof of the mouth helps to balance the neck muscles in front, especially if we have been in this front posture, which also can, of course, bring on migraines and so forth. So the neck and the shoulders are a very important area to maintain that relaxed kind of position. So keeping the tongue to the roof of the mouth and feel like you're trying to lengthen the jaw away from the collarbone, not the chin, so you put any pressure on the back of the head, but you want to feel like both sides of the jaw are lifting up. And as you lift the jaw, feel like the arms and the shoulders are heavy, like kind of pulling you back to the earth. The feet, the arms, and the legs are pulling you down to the earth, where the neck and the head are starting to lengthen up so that you feel like the top of the head is almost like a balloon, just kind of shifting up towards the heavens, nice and tall. And then feeling all the muscles in the face relax. Feeling the eye muscles relax. And as you're going through that relaxation, let's start to focus in on breath. And at the same time, we're bringing our mind into the practice because we've been working on making these little postural adjustments. So our mind is already here with us working. So let's then bring the breath into it. So let's focus on inhaling deeper than you normally do, pausing for a moment at the top of that, and then exhaling out nice and slowly, letting that ebb out. And as you do this, maintain that posture, maintain the postural adjustments that we've made. You might start to feel a little tingling, especially in the arms and the hands, but continue with that deeper, enhanced breath. Inhaling comfortably deeper, pausing for a moment, and then allowing that to ebb. And let's do that a few more times. And as you are taking in these breaths, part of your Tai Chi practice includes intention. So what is your intention? What do you want to accomplish tonight? Do you want to move your Qi energy? Do you have areas that need your special kindness and attention tonight? You have something going on. Maybe you do feel a little migraine coming on, or maybe you have pain in another part of the body. So think about directing this healing energy movement that we're going to be doing in the class and the breath to the areas that you want to work on. Let's do one more nice deep breath. And now let's work on warming up. So now we're going to work on warming up the neck. I'm just going to turn to the side. Whenever we lift the arms in Tai Chi, we always want to feel like we're lifting the wrist up. We don't want to feel like we're lifting up with the shoulders. The elbows are soft, and the wrists are going to lift up to about shoulder height. The hands are then going to turn this way. I'm just turning so you can see me. Pull this in. I'm going to engage my Qi energy with that all around, and then let the head and neck drop down. So let's do that a few times. Lifting up, let the head and neck lift up nice and softly, slowly. Turn those palms, and as you pull in, you can even bring the chin back a little bit. Engage your Qi energy, and then come back down. I like to call this embracing the sunrise or the sunset. As you come up, you're bringing earth energy up. You're gathering that Qi energy from the sun, pulling it in, rolling it out, And then letting that head gently come down. Great job. And then let's let that head come up nice and gently. Now, next, we're going to work into the shoulder area. So we're going to do shoulder rolls. But what you don't want to do is these big, giant movements. What I'd like for you to do is do small, like you're trying to roll that arm bone in the shoulder joint itself. So just a short, small little roll. See how I'm moving my arm bone in that shoulder joint? That becomes very relaxing. That's like a deep massage in that shoulder joint. So just kind of feeling and becoming aware of how that feels in that shoulder joint. Rather than working the muscles all around it, we're actually really kind of going into that joint. And now let's reverse. We're going to turn that, let the palms come out. And now as I do this, I'm going to feel my shoulder blades are coming and more involved. And my thumb is actually kind of rotating towards the back. So I feel my shoulders opening up. And then allow the hands to just stay open. Maintaining that posture, feeling the top of the head goes up to the ceiling. You might start to feel a little tingling down the arms. That's your chi. Now let's bring the hands up. Let's whisk those hands together so we really feel that chi energy. And so as we whisk those hands together, that heat that you feel in your hands, that is your chi. And so there's in the palm, there's an area called Gong points that help us move the chi energy around. So let's take this moment. We're going to stretch that chi energy across the chest and then sink in. And you might really be able to feel it with that breath, inhaling and exhaling down. Just let those fingers, all the finger joints just relax, be very fluid. That's what makes the chi flow. I do this when I'm sitting in traffic. It helps me relax, you know, especially if it's a lot of traffic and I know I'm going to be stuck there for a while. I just do this and it really helps to calm because it's crossing, you're taking that chi and bringing it across the heart and the lung meridian. Let's do one more of these. And then let the hands go down. So now we're going to take this chi and we're going to sink the chi. So we're going to bring the hands up to the sides and gently rotate up. Once the arms, the elbow gets above the shoulder, bend the hands in and let this just sink. Feel like you're taking that chi energy and washing it down the front of the body. If we do it like this, this helps us rotate the arm bones. It also helps us not lift with the shoulders, but yet use the elbows to come down. So that helps to keep that tension out of the shoulder. Now let's do that a few more times, just letting that roll through, maintaining your posture. Let's do two more of these, inhaling as we lift. Once the elbow gets a little bit above the shoulder, just bend. So that way it takes all that tension out of the shoulder area. And let's do last time, gathering up and down. Great job. So now we're going to do a little rotation. So let's keep the elbows here right by the side. So I let the shoulders relax down. And we're just going to gently rotate from one side to the other. So you might actually start to feel some energy in the hands now, almost like a little weight coming down on the hands. And just feel what happens in those mid-body muscles. You feel those muscles, they feel like they're wrapping from the front to the back. Those are your obliques. And these are the muscles that help us, you know, the Tai Chi, the hands just kind of follow what happens in the body. So we want to really feel those core muscles, become aware of them. And there is a lot of spiraling or rotational movements in Tai Chi. And then back to center and relax. Nice deep breath. Now let's also work on stretching the knees. This is dynamic stretching, plus I'm also shifting my body weight from one side to the other. So that's another important concept in Tai Chi, is being very aware of shifting your body from one side to the other. So as I put my foot down, I carefully pour, and in Harvard's Tai Chi programs, they talk about pouring your weight from one side to the other. So I kind of get that feeling that you're just letting that weight just shift from one side to the other, very deliberately, feeling those feet land on the ground, feeling your knees stay soft. Let's do one more to each side. Good, and then come back to center. Okay, and then lastly, in our warm-up, I'm going to step back a little bit. I want you to lift your heel up. Try to maintain your balance, but feel that your body weight is shifting over to the straight leg. This knee is bent with my heel lifting, and I'm going to just roll the bottom of the foot as if I'm trying to squash a bug. So I feel that rolling in the ankle, the heel. I feel that moving all the way up the leg. That helps to really loosen up. There's a lot of balance receptors in the ankle. Let's go in reverse. Always feel a little cracking and popping when I do that too, but that helps to loosen up the ankle. Good. Then I put that foot down firmly. I lift up the other side and roll. Good. And then let's go in reverse. Good. And then settle down. Okay. So let's go through some very typical Tai Chi movements. And as you go through them, we're not going to be doing a lot of leg work. We're going to be doing more in the arm part tonight. And then next time I see you, might be doing more of the legs and so forth. So first movement we're going to do is normally the commencement movement, which is what we had done in the beginning about raising the earth's power. So we're going to just do this several times, just so you feel in the rhythm of that, maintaining your posture. And as I sink down, I also then lift just slightly. So I feel like my entire body is a part of the process. So I'm maintaining posture and just letting those hands just gently roll down. Inhaling on the lift, exhaling and letting those hands, almost like paintbrushes, coming down. Down. And it really helps you get into that kind of trance-like state, which we feel in Tai Chi. Good, last time. Great. So the next movement we're going to do is cloud hands. So we're going to do it if you look on YouTube, you'll see that Harvard University has some, they have Essentials of Tai Chi, and they also have another one, I forget what the name of it is, but they have a lot of different helpful videos for you to practice with. So the one that they do with the cloud hands is they have the hand come up, move across the body, and then just let it drop down. And see, most of this is done with the body. The hand is just kind of following along and down. So the hand moves across the hips, it comes up, so it covers the chest because there's that martial arts component to it. So that's that whole protective nature. And let's do that again. Pulling that across and down. And now let's do the other side. So let this side come across and let the arm just fall down. Maintaining posture, feeling what happens all the way down into the feet, even as you move from one side to the other, gently moving, just letting yourself just immerse in the softness as if you were moving through water. Let's do one more. Great. Now let's move them together. So as this arm comes up, the one on the bottom is going to kind of scoop across the hip line, and then they switch. One takes over, one goes up, one goes down. And the count I usually like to work with is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do that a few more times. You might actually start to feel your hands tingle a little bit. That's your Tai Chi. The more that we become aware of it, the softer we do our movements, the more your body becomes aware of that Chi movement. And it really is quite a startling event when you start to feel it's like the light bulb goes off. And you're like, wow, I do feel that tingling. And that is your healing. We all have this opportunity to have this natural healing going on. Let's do one more to each side. And then we come back to center and down. Okay, we'll also do another movement called parting the wild horse's mane. So how that begins is we have this chi ball, or it's also called embracing the moon. So my thumb is kind of by my sternum. My pinky is by my lower dantian or belly button area. So I want to have a nice size chi ball. So let's just move that up and down a little bit, just so you feel. It almost feels like you're pushing down. That's that chi. That gives you that opportunity to kind of feel that chi energy. Good. And let that breath go with you. Good. Let's do one more of those. And then coming back here. So the parting the horse's mane looks like this. The bottom hand is going to shift and go to the side. The top hand is going to come down. So I kind of call it like squashing the ball. So I'm going to squash the ball. This hand then comes down towards the hip. And this one is if I'm tossing a frisbee away. And then we're going to come back to our chi ball. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. So let's do it. Let's go through that little squashing phase there so we kind of get that rhythm. And try to have the hands aligned right up in front of the body, because that's a very energetic place. It's also very protective, that whole martial arts component. Good. And then let's stay right here. Same thing. I'm going to start to turn the body. This hand comes down like I'm squashing the ball and I'm throwing the frisbee. And then let's circle back. And let's do the same thing on the other side. So we're always going to come back to the center point. Let's squash the ball and throw the frisbee. And then come back to center and let your body do a lot of that work, not just the arms. Squash the ball and throw the frisbee. And let's come back to center. Squash the ball, throw the frisbee. And then come back to center. Squash the ball and throw the frisbee. Let's do that one more time to each side. Squash the ball and throw the frisbee. And then come back to center. And squash the ball and throw the frisbee. And come back to center. Relaxing the shoulders. And the next one we're going to do is called brush knee. So we're going to bring the hands, we're going to actually bring the hands up to one side. So it's like this hand goes out like a sword, and this hand is kind of coming down that arm, because when the arm moves, or the hand moves over, it's moving that chi energy across that meridian and protecting the elbow. So we want to feel like we're landing right about here. And then this hand pushes down, this one pushes in. So let's just do that a couple of times, just so you can get into that flow. And as I push down and push towards my face, I'm also just bending a little bit, because when we do this in a regular class, we usually will take a step, but we're not going to do that tonight. We're just going to feel that flow. So the elbow is right here. I push down. Okay, and then the finale is I push down. I push this hand past my face. I'm moving that chi energy, and then I'm pushing across the knee and pushing out in front. And that movement in front, I'm going to front myself. You want it to be right there in front of your chest, because remember, that's the Tai Chi is that protective action. So let's swing back. Let's press down and press in and brush the knee and push. Let's do that again. Let those arms swing up. Press this hand down, bend towards my face, push. And remember, it's a nice soft push. Great. So then I'm going to swing the arms up to the other side. So now we have to do the same thing on this side. So same thing, it's almost like the hand goes out like a sword. This hand is kind of pulling that chi energy down the forearm to the elbow. And let's do the same thing, where I bend in, bend down, and bend towards the face and out. Bend down and bend towards the face and out. So you don't have to hit yourself in the head, but you do want to have it close by and down. And then as I press, I also want to bend into it a little bit and out. Bend in and out. Good. Last one. And so now we bend in, we push, brush knee, and push. So let's swing that back. Press down, bend towards the face, and push. And swing back. Bend down, push past the face, and push. Let's do that another couple of times. And see, this is more of a flow, where you're getting into the rhythm of the flow. And notice how I stand nice and tall. I don't lean forward. I don't want to push with a hard elbow. That elbow stays soft the whole time. And last one. And down. Right. Now let's bring the arms up. Up, in front, out. Good, and let's bring those arms up to center into prayer pose. So when you take yoga, they say namaste, but in our practice, there is actually a Chinese saying that would say about the same thing. And so it basically is saying the light and the spirit and the energy in me so values, respects, and appreciates and honors the light and the spirit and the energy in all of you. And that saying is called Ni Men Hao Jing Shen Qi. So Jing is that lower dantian, Shen is the forehead, and Qi is like you're bringing the energy here, our energy storage, bring our mind into it, and also our heart. So let's put those hands together in prayer pose. Take a few little deep breaths here. Seeing how good you might feel. Feel some of that chi energy moving a bit. Feel relaxed and calm. And so when we end our Tai Chi practice, we take our left hand, I know it's not the same for you, but left hand and the left thumb and the right hand. This means friendship. This means strength. And the thumb, going to wrap that right hand around that thumb. That is humility. So that is what your authentic Tai Chi greeting as well as exit. So I thank you so much for participating tonight. It's been my pleasure to be your guide in your practice. I look forward to seeing you. I'm not sure when I'm on next time, but look forward to seeing you again in the future. Thank you. A slight bow. We appreciate you so much. And all right. Great job, everyone. Yay.